Welcome back, Rob from Ascendant Lofts. We've got a loft update for you today and a bit of good news with regards to the birds that we're missing. So, on my way home from work, all depressed as you do at work, but I'm getting a phone call on the way home, and my subscribers will recall that I had 4 young birds go missing when the flagpole fell. This one's just been reported. It's not the Belgian one, which I am a bit gutted about. However, it's looking pretty good. It's not been hit by any hawks. It's got a few lice and he is quite skinny. But you've got to bear in mind we've had sub-zero temperatures down to -15. We've had up to 3 feet of snow. It's been outside and it's survived through all that, which tells us one thing: good DNA. It's got good survivability. If you look on the bottom of it, see his keel bone's very thin. His crop there is quite inflated. That's swelling, and you can see its cheekbones quite prominent. Needs a good feed, some good water. So I'm going to take him up, treat him for coxie and canker. I'll keep him separated for a couple of days. But I mean, looking at him, it doesn't look too bad. It could be a blessing in disguise actually, because he's been flying around and stuff. But we'll get him tracked, get him back up to weight. We'll do regular updates on how he's getting on. Get rid of these lice as well, because I can see them crawling around on him. And we'll just update you regularly. So, got the bird back up the gardens. Going to give it a little pill. Now, it's not an antibiotic, I cannot stress that enough. It's the simple 3-in-1 to treat for coxie, canker and worms. The reason I'm doing this is because if it does have any of those infections, I don't want any of the other birds getting it. And he's quite underweight, so we'll get this underway as quick as we can. He knows he's back home because he's looking around. So the way you do this, get a hold of the bird, open its mouth. I'm sorry, it's not the best quality, but I am on my own here. Oh, wait a minute. Open its mouth, get the pill wedged right in there, and close his mouth. Don't let him open it until that's down the gullet, and sort of stretch his neck, and just double check. See, he's more lively than he was at home, so he knows where he is now. So if you give us your mouth, mate. I'm just checking. Yep, so that pill's down there now. I've put a couple of pots in there. One with water, with some electrolytes, tiny drop of Aviform 11-in-1. Another with corn, a light feed, not too much because we don't want them getting crop block. Basically that's where the bird's being starved or deprived of food. It'll eat too much at once and it'll turn into a block in its crop. It cannot digest it. You have to hold the bird upside down and massage it back out. So I've just given him a little bit in there, very light feed, and then some grit to help digest it. And that is the boxes in the cabin for in case I get anyone else's in. I'm going to keep him in here overnight. Let's see. There you go, mate. Let's stick him in there. He is quite naturally a little bit scared. There's some shavings and stuff in here. There we go. I don't know if you can see that. He's just looking at his food straight away. Or she, sorry, I'm being quite sexist. Maybe a she. Then figure out what they're for. Stick some shavings in there because it can get a little bit nippy on a night time at the minute in here. And close the door. And I'm just going to leave him like that, let him get comfortable. and we'll see if he starts eating and stuff like that. He is quite hungry, but he's a little bit scared. He's going to be. He's been out. He was a month old and he went missing for 3 weeks, 4 days I think it was. They got him in last night with the old bird, so he must have been desperate. Listening to the rest of the young birds tapping around on the top. We'll go and have a look at the young birds anyway for a loft update. So the rest of the young birds out, not having any issues with these really, apart from the body moult, the molting like hell. I've got a duck, keeps invading my garden. Don't know where it's from, but it's not causing us any bother, so I can just crack on. And there's the rest of the young birds just sitting on the top. Where I got this bird back from, actually, I don't know if you can see them houses over the other side of the valley. It's literally the other side of them houses. I don't know why it hasn't made it home. I would get rid of it if it was a yearling or, you know, maybe an old bird, because it hasn't got the sense to get home from there. However, it was a baby and it's managed to survive absolutely horrendous weather. There's people struggling to keep the birds alive, or the young birds alive, in the lofts, never mind surviving out on their own. You know, they kind of pick anything up off the floor because it was all snow. All the forests around here, there's hawks, all kinds of predators, but it's getting through it unscathed. It's got a few lice. I think that's probably the worst condition it's got. We'll pop around, we'll have a look at all the breeders and stuff like that, and we'll let you see how they're getting on. Going in for a look at the breeders now. I don't know if you remember that bottom corner there, the birds that were laid down there, I stuck them into a nest bowl. That's one of the ones that was missing, the one I've just getting back. Just for your reference. If you didn't see it, I believe it's in one of my first loft updates, if you want to subscribe or a viewer then. But you'll see all the panicking I had because they hadn't come back. So same again, you've just got Belgium in here. It is young bird that's still missing, but it's the last one out of about 40-45 now. There's only one missing, that's counting the other ones in the nest, I think. Yeah, so don't know if you can see that, but I don't know if that's just getting tame with us or what, because there's absolutely nothing underneath there. Don't know why it's protecting that so furiously. However, we'll let her crack on. You'll be sitting for a long time in there, darling, because there's no gonna hatch. I would put pot eggs under, might entice her on to lay, but I don't really want to. I'm worried that racer's paired off with the hen fantail. They both seem to be in that box all the time. I'll get rid of them eggs just in case. Don't want to risk no crossbreeds. And don't want to stress too hard, but we have an eggshell, so somebody somewhere has hatched, and it's not you. And this one's apparently Fantail City in here. It's not that one. That's definitely an eggshell. So, Ken, this one will be one of yours. If I can bloody find it. There is a bird hatched somewhere. There we go. How many we got? One and an egg. So, box 1E. So Ken, that's your first bird hatched, just so you know. I'll get a little feeder. I want a sense of urgency, so I think we'll best go through these and check them all now. if they're getting to that sort of stage. Like I say, I didn't keep any records of these. Doesn't look like we've got any more out yet. So, my little cupboard here. Get one of them. Just a little pot, so the birds can get their extra allowance for the babies. That's the food allowance. And 1E, so don't want to disturb them too much. So basically, that just hooks in there like that. It's got an anti-spill pot on it as well. So yep, that's number one, Ken. So we'll go through and we'll check the other lofts quickly. Here I've got a couple of pot eggs. Last night I did video on the camera, but the camera's not as good quality, so I didn't want to upload it. I replaced the eggs that were under here with pot eggs, and as you can see, he's sitting them. I wonder, this hen's not laying for some reason, so just while you're on camera, there's a pot egg in there. If there's 2 eggs in that on the next update, I've done something right. I've got a couple of little ones there, getting on absolutely fine. As you can see, the babies here getting on fine as well. And these in the top should be, oh, I think I'll put them over tonight actually. They look to be ready. So all the older birds here, and this is what I'm trying to stop, so I'll stick them there and take that one away. I don't want them laying everywhere. That's why I'm giving pot eggs. Oh. Out of the nest. I don't know if they're still a little bit young yet, but they're obviously eating and stuff like that, so we'll get them out as well. Seems to be getting more and more and more in that young bird loft, but this is it. I do get them laying behind these doors as well. In fact, there's a bird in there. Don't know if it's got any eggs, but either way, I'm just going to keep getting rid of the eggs because we don't need any more birds now. I'll get these 4 moved across. Usually I'd be worried about them holding this lot back, but I mean they're all going to be flying from the same loft anyway, so I'm not panicked too much about it. So we'll have a walk down the bottom. Hello guys. Hello. Quite late, well I'm saying it's quite late at night, it's not, it's about 5:30 in the afternoon. Ideal time to get them out. About an hour before dark. Usually what will happen is they'll want to roost, so nice and easy to get them in if you were going to have any problems. This lot's really well trained though. I don't have any issues with them. And still with these in the bottom loft, healthy, and they're absolutely belting birds. I don't need them, and I've got nothing I can do with them yet. So my plan of action going forward with this lot is see what happens through the racing season. Maybe replace some of the parents if their young don't do anything. Replace some of them parents with some of these birds. Other than that, I don't know what else to do. I can't get rid of any more of these. This was about 150 birds, 200 maybe, and it's down to like 40 now. I've selected and selected and selected, and I kind of choose from them now. I mean, look at them, they're pairing off and stuff, and this here is designed to be a young bird loft, hence all just the box perches and normal standard perches, but it's overspill at the minute, and that's all it is. So like I say, it's getting stuff in order, and I can't get stuff in order until we know how these little fellas fly. Once we know how these fly, we can start picking out of the parents, because I don't know if you've been watching, I'm not flying any of the old birds here this year. I'm starting a fresh slate, I've bred all these youngsters. The reason I breed so many is so that next year I can whatever's left, I can race as old birds or yearlings, by which time I'm hoping to have this roundabout loft emptied. But yeah, so as it stands for the week, I'm over the moon, especially with that little one getting home. Honestly, I could have cried when I got the phone call about that. But he seems to be snuggling in there nicely. I'll see if I've got a bit of straw or like tobacco stalks or something like that. But he's got food in there. I'll give him 24 hours, 48 hours, something like that. See how his weight's getting on. His keel bone's really sharp. It's almost like a knife edge. So once he's getting a bit weight on him, then we can see that, you know, he's got no major health issues that he can pass on to the rest of them. Then we'll get him back over into the general population. I'm not going to let him out immediately. He'll be locked away in that loft for a couple of days, just to remind him where he lives, or remind her where she lives. Might even stick it in the aviary while the rest of the birds are out. But these birds, I'm pretty confident none of these are going missing now. Apart from like training tosses and races, if any, for bad weather and stuff. They went up last night, and I did have it on video, but like I say, it wasn't very good quality, so I left it. I know this camera shakes and stuff, but that one, it's meant to be HD. It was just fuzzy and stuff like that. So yeah, that's it for the week. I'm absolutely over the moon. This one here's a bit of a weird one actually. It's blue, but it's sort of hinting towards grizzled. If you look at its bars there, they're not solid. Getting a bit closer. They're not solid. It's like a really light pastel grey. As you can see, the difference between that and sort of the one to its left, much more prominent. But that's like a pastel grey. I've no idea why it's like that, unless it is grizzle getting into it. Certainly a bonny bird. Bloody fantails. They're not the strongest out of the lot of them, so they're on the bottom boxes, apart from Hugo. He's the boss in here. But them two's got shite all over their tails, because their tails stick out and birds above them do toilet. There's the two young'uns off Dennis. Sitting pottering around, probably still a little bit young to be out, but I'd rather they were out. It's easier to educate a younger bird than it is an older one. Same with these spikes, absolute buggers. They're brilliant, but when they get behind them, they don't like coming back around the other way. So unless you've got like the whole lot done, it's not really any point. But it took us like a week just to cut all these, because I did them all with a handsaw on like a jig I've made over there on the table. I'll take you over actually. So what you do with it, yeah, I've set it to a certain length here with the mitre. You put this so many spikes in, push them up against the wood at the end, then just saw there. Then the bit you remove from here is that's the bit you're going to be using. Then they're all the same length. As you can see, I even managed to mess that up. I thought he was going to go up in the air there, down in the bottom loft. They're flying, just not consistently. He's quite confident. He's up and around. I think we had 5 of them last night actually take off and go up around the loft. Yep, that's the water. I need to get them filled up as well today. Everything's been frozen. This is all you want to see, just pottering around, getting confident with the surroundings, and flying loft to loft if you can get them up in the air. Don't scare them, because they will go missing. But if they can go up in the air, brilliant. Just don't panic, just let them crack on. Let them do what they want to do. It's a patience game. I want nothing more than just to get them all up. Now, just get the flag out and scare them up. But I've seen with them 4 birds that went. 2 came back the day after. 1 reported today after nearly a month. And then the Belgian one. Obviously the most expensive, or would be the most expensive. Had I had any records, obviously that had to be the one that's missing. But that's how the sport goes, unfortunately. You can buy shite and you can be given great stuff. You just don't know until you flew them yourself. So thank you for watching. If you wouldn't mind hitting the like, subscribe buttons. Also, I've got a couple of on-screen links in the corners there, or on the sides, or wherever they are, for some of my other videos. If there's any subjects you'd like to cover, please leave in the comments, and I'll get back to you. But I'll make a video on it. See how we'll get on with that. Watch what you want to see. Other than that, thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.